Hello, good day. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin yung differentiation rules. Okay, so these are basics lang. Yung basic differentiation rule or yung pagkuha ng derivative ng ating function. So ano nga ba muna yung derivative? The derivative of a function f with respect to x is the function that approximates the slope of the line tangent to f at any point on its graph. So, katulad ng paghahanap ng slope of a tangent of a line to a curve, yung derivative is also approximating the slopes of the line tangent to f at any point on its graph. Thus, provided that the limit exists, we can see that the slope is also the same as the derivative of the function, which is eta. Okay? Katulad lang ng slope of the line of the tangent, ganun din yung way on how to get the derivative of your function. And this is known as differentiation. The process of getting the derivative of a function ay tinatawag nating differentiation. So, ano nga ba yung mga basic differentiation rule? We have here pinaka-basic talaga, the constant rule. So, gamit yung slope of a line. Okay, slope of the tangent line to a line. Ito yun, di ba? So, we have f of x, f prime of x. So, ibig sabihin ng prime nito, this is the derivative of your function. Okay? Derivative of your function, f prime of x, is also the same as the slope of the tangent line, which is the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x all over h as h approaches 0. Since pinag-uusapan natin dito yung constant rule, so yung f of x natin is c. And also, your f of x plus h is also equal to c. So, yung functions natin, magiging c minus c all over h, and c minus c is equal to 0 divided by h, that is equal to 0. And the limit of 0 is also 0, that is constant rule. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng derivative ng constant results to 0. Pag constant yung function, automatic yung derivative is equal to 0. For example, we have letter A, y is equal to negative 4/5, constant siya. Letter B, f of x is equal to 100, yung 100 constant, and letter C, g of x is equal to pi, which is also constant. Sabi kanina sa constant rule, lahat ng derivative ng constant is equal to 0. That concludes that in letter A, the derivative is 0. So, pwede tayong gumamit ng prime here. Okay, this is prime or apostrophe. It denotes your derivative. Derivative of y is equal to 0. Ganun din yung letter B, since 100 is constant. So, f prime of x is equal to 0. Derivative of f of x is equal to 0. And derivative of g of x is also equal to 0. Kasi nga, constant yung mga givens natin. That's the constant rule. Next is tinatawag nating power rule. So, meron tayong variable. At the same time, meron tayong existence of your exponent. So, sa power rule, ito yung kailangan nating i-memorize. That is d of dx. Katulad ng prime or apostrophe, d of dx is also used para gamitin yung derivative. Okay? So, we are getting the derivative of x raised to n. That is simply equal to n, that is your exponent, times x raised to n minus 1. So, ibig sabihin sa power rule, ibababa na natin yung power katabi ni x, then magbabawas tayo ng isa sa exponent. For example, letter A, y is equal to x to the 5th power. Letter B, f of x is equal to x to the 20th power. And letter C, g of x is equal to 1 over x to the 7th power. So, gagamitin natin yung power rule kasi nga meron tayong existence of your exponent. And also, meron tayong variable. So, ibig sabihin, yung derivative ng y natin is equal to, ibababa natin yung 5. Kaya naging 5 dito. X, then magsasubtract tayo ng 1. Once binaba po natin yung exponent, magbabawas po tayo ng 1. That is power rule. So, that is simply 5 times x raised to 5 minus 1. Simplify. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. And this is the derivative of your y. 5x to the 4th power. How about letter B? We have x to the 20th power. The derivative of f of x is simply, ibababa yung 20, then magbabawas tayo ng 1 sa 20. So that results to 20 times x raised to the 20 minus 1. Simplify. The derivative of your function is equal to 20x raised to 19. How about yung letter C naman? 1 over x raised to 7. So, yung exponent natin nasa baba, itataas muna natin siya para magamit natin yung power rule. Okay? And we all know, apply tayo ng negative exponent here. Kung itataas natin yung x raised to 7, the exponent becomes negative. So, yung 1 over x raised to 7 is also the same as x raised to negative 7. Okay? Then, pwede natin gamitin yung power rule. Okay? That means your g of x, the derivative of your g of x is equal to negative 7 yung exponent kanina, di ba? So, ibababa natin. At the same time, magbabawas tayo ng 1. Then, we will simplify to get negative 7x raised to negative 8. Then, we will simplify further. So, yung final answer natin must not contain negative exponents. So, gagawin natin siyang positive. Apply again yung negative exponent. Para maging positive to, ibababa natin siya. That results to negative 7 over x to the 8th power. That is the power rule. Ulitin na natin. Ibababa yung power. Pag binaba, minus 1 agad. That's the power. The third differentiation rule is na tawag natin constant multiple rule. Pag nakasama na yung unang constant and also the multiple rule, ano ang gagawin? So, ito siya. Pag hiwalay na natin, lahat ng constant, ilalagay natin sa harap, then we will find the derivative of that function na lang na may iwan. Either variable siya or variable na merong exponent. Okay? Basta yung number is ilalagay natin sa harap. That is constant multiple rule. For example, we have y is equal to 4x to the 5th, letter b 3/4 x to the 8th, and letter g 2x to the 1/4. So, yung gagawin natin dito, ihiwalay natin yung 4 at saka yung x to the 5th. Okay? So, kunin muna natin yung derivative ng 4. Okay? So, that is also equal to, ihaharap natin, ilalagay natin sa harap. Then, we will multiply by the derivatives of your x to the 5th power by applying the power rule. Okay? So, ibababa natin yung 5. Kaya naging 5 dito, then subtract by 1. Then we will simplify to get 20 times x raised to the 4th power. Or, sa pinakamadaling paraan, okay, kahit hindi na natin ihiwalay yung constant, yung gagawin na natin is, ibababa yung 5, i-multiply by 4, kaya naging ganito siya, then subtract by 1 to get 20 times x raised to the 4th power. Letter B, ganun din yung gagawin natin na, ibababa yung 8, so i-multiply natin siya sa 3/4, then magbabawas tayo ng 1. Okay, derivative of your f of x is equal to 8 times 3, that is 24 over 4, times x raised to 8 minus 1. Kaya naging 7 to. Then we will simplify further. 24 divided by 4, that is 6. X raised to 7. And that is the answer. Letter C, 2x, the 1/4 power. Yung 1/4 na to, ibababa natin. So 1/4 multiplied by 2 results to, ilan? 2/4, or that is 1/2. Okay, so ibababa 2 times 1/4. Pag binaba yung exponent, minus 1. Maging ganito siya. So 2 times 1/4 results to 2/4. Then 1/4 minus 1 is also the same as 1/4 minus 4 over 4. Then the answer is 1/2 x raised to negative 3/4. Since negative yung exponent natin, kailangan to maging positive, ibababa natin. That results to 1 over 2x to the 3/4. Next, the rule is the sum and difference rule. So ito naman, plus and minus. In short, paghihiwalay na natin yung dalawang functions natin. Okay? Katulad ng the sum and difference rules ng limit, ganun din yung gagawin natin dito. Paghihiwalay lang yung dalawang functions, then apply the previous rules when it comes to getting derivatives of the function. For example, yung letter A, we have 9x plus 2. So, pwede tayong gumamit ng sum rule dito. Paghihiwalay natin yung 9x at saka si 2. That is, y prime is equal to d over dx of 9x. Ibig sabihin, kukunin muna natin yung derivative ng 9x and then i-add sa derivative ng 2. Ulitin na natin na yung apostrophe dito, that is the prime. Yung d over dx, that is derivative. Okay? Yung tawag natin dito is derivative of y. Ito naman derivative of 9x. Ito naman derivative of 2. Okay? That is sum rule. Then we will apply the previous rules natin. Exponent ng x is 1. So, ibababa natin. 9 times 1 is 9. Since binaba natin, magma-minus 1 tayo dito. So, 1 minus 1, that is 0. And x raised to 0 is 1. So, magiging 9 na lang siya later dito. Okay? Then, yung 2 natin, derivative, since constant siya, the answer is 0. Then, we will simplify. 9 times 1 is 9. 1 minus 1 is 0. That results to 9x to the 0. And we'll know that any number raised to 0 except 0 is 1. So 1 times 9 is 9. And that is the derivative of letter A. How about letter B? Ganun pa rin yung paraan. Ngayon naman, subtraction naman tayo. Kukunin muna natin yung derivative ng 2x cubed. Then isa-subtract sa derivative ng 3x. Again, we will follow the previous rules. Okay? So ito, ibababa natin yung 3, multiply by 2. Once na ibinaba yung exponent, magiging subtract by 1. Okay? Binaba yung 3, kaya naging 2 times 3. Then, yung nangyari sa exponent, minus 1. And then, minus, ito copy yung minus. Then, derivative ng 3x. That is 3 times 1, kasi exponent ng x is 1. Binaba natin, then magbabawas tayo ng isa sa exponent. Okay? This is the derivative of 3x. And this is the derivative of 2x cubed. Then, we will simplify. 2 times 3 kanina is 6. Then 3 minus 1 is 2. Ito naman, 3 times 1 is 3. And then yung exponent ito, 1 minus 1 is 0. Kaya naging ganito siya. Then we will simplify. Ito magiging 1 na siya. Right? Kaya naging ganito siya. So 3 times 1. Since x raised to 0 is 1. Then simplify further. The derivative of f of x is equal to x squared. 6x squared minus 3. Last item. So, himay-himay na natin. Derivative nito, add by the derivative of 2x, add by the derivative by the derivative of negative x to the 5th power. Okay, or minus x to the 5th power. So, this is constant. This is 0. Tama. Okay, constant rule. This is 0. Ito naman, exponent is 1, ibababa, and then subtract by 1. Kaya naging ganito. Yung 5, ibababa, kaya naging 5 times x raised to 5. Kung ibababa na po, minus 1 tayo. And then we will simplify. And the answer is 0 plus 2. X raised to 0 minus 5. X to the 4th. Ito, this is equal to 1. And that results to 1 minus 5x to the 4th power. And this is the derivative of the function. And that is the sum and the difference rule. Okay, dako naman tayo sa pinaka-complicated na part, which is the product rule versus the quotient rule. So sa product rule, so ito siya, we have the derivative of your two functions. Okay? So to get the derivative of your two functions, that is simply get the first function multiplied by the derivative of your second function plus your second function multiplied by your first derivative of your first function. Or para mas maintindihan natin, or klaro siya, derivative of your uv, yung u natin is first function, yung v natin is the second function. That is equal to u times the derivative of v plus v times derivative of u. For example, we have 9x minus 1 times 2x squared minus 3. Ito yung una nating function. So sabihin natin that this is your u and this is your v, second function. So, para makuha yung yung derivatives nito, we will apply the product rule. Sabi kanina, to get the derivative of your function, simply copy your first function, then multiplied by the derivative of your second function, plus your second function multiplied by the derivative of your first function. Kaya naging ganito siya. Then, we will apply your previous rules. Okay? So, ito yung first function again. This is your derivative of your second function. So, drop yung 2, then subtract by 1. Kaya naging ganito siya. Then, minus 0 supposedly dyan. So, hindi ko na nilagay kasi nga 0 na rin yung 3 natin by constant rule. Ito naman, plus your second function multiplied by the derivative of your first function. So, yung exponent is 1. Drop yung 1. Kaya naging 9 times 1. Then, yung exponent natin, minus 1. Kaya naging ganito siya, minus 0. by constant rule. And then we will simplify further. Copy yung first. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. Dropped. 9 times 1 is 9. 1 minus 1 is 0. Then, kahit hindi na isulat yung minus 0. Then, simplify further. Yung 4x raised to 1 is also the same as 4x. 9x raised to 0 is also the same as 9 times 1, or that is 9. Then, we'll use the distributive property of equality to get the final derivative of 36x squared minus 4 plus 18x squared minus 27. Hindi pa pala ito final kasi we need to combine like terms. So, ano yung mga like terms dito? Ito, sa x squared at saka sa x squared. So, pagsasamahin natin, meron tayong 36x squared odd by the 18x squared. Then, the final answer is 54x squared minus 4x minus 27. And this is the derivative of your functions. That is the product rule. Another example, medyo mahirap. Lagyan natin ng radical sign. Let's for example, we have f of x is equal to x cubed minus 16 times the square root of x minus 1 plus 2x. So bago tayo pumunta sa product rule, we will simplify further yung radical na to. Okay, gawin natin exponent. That is, drop yung first function. So the square root of x minus 1 is also the same as the 1/2 to the power ng x minus 1. Then drop yung 2x. Okay, so ulitin na natin. The square root of x minus 1 is also the same as x minus 1 raised to 1/2. Then we will apply the product rule natin. So unang gagawin, copy the first function, ito. Then multiply by the derivative of your second function. Ito yung second function natin. Okay? And the derivative of that is, drop yung 1/2, then minus 1. Kaya naging 1/2 times x minus 1 raised to 1/2 minus 1. Yung ganito. Derivative niya yan. Then ito naman, drop yung 1, magiging 2 times 1. Then x raised to 1 minus 1. That is 0. X raised to 0 or simply 1. And 1 times 2 is 2. Kaya naging 2 yung derivative ng 2x. Okay? Plus, yung drop natin yung second function natin, ito. Drop yung second function, then multiply by the derivative of your first function. Ito naman. So, drop yung 3, kaya naging 3x. Once na drop, minus 1 tayo. Then, minus 0, that is constant rule. Okay? The derivative of all constants are 0. Kaya naging 0 to. Then, simplify further. So, drop. Ito. Sinimplify ko lang 3 minus 1 results to 3x squared. And then, nawala yung 0 kasi nga 0 din naman siya. Then, simplify further. So, lahat ng exponent must be positive. So, para maging positive yung exponent to, we will apply negative exponent. That is one of the laws ng exponent natin. So, para maging negative to, para maging positive, we will look for the reciprocal of x minus 1. And that is 1 over x raised to x minus 1 raised to 1/2. Okay? So, para maging positive na yung exponent natin. So, raised to 1/2 plus 2. So, drop lang din. Then, apply natin yung distributive property of equality resulting to drop. Okay, ito. X times 3x squared. That results to ganito. So, by the way, this is a single term. Okay? Kasi nga nakaguard yung 1/2 na exponent. So, we cannot distribute 3x squared to x at saka to 1. Kasi ulitin ko lang, this is a single term. Treated siya single term because nag-guard po siya ng 1/2 natin. So, copy lang natin yung x minus 1 raised to 1/2 multiplied by 3x squared plus, so 2x naman multiplied by 3x squared. Then, simplify further. So, yung sa kabila naman, pwede natin gamitan din ng distributive property of equality or FOIL method. Ganun. First, multiply by first, outer by outer, inner by inner, or last by last. To get x cubed over 2 times x minus 1 raised to 1/2 plus 2x cubed. Ito na x cubed multiply by 2, that is 2x cubed. So, yung negative x naman, multiply by this results to negative 16 over 2 times x minus 1 raised to 1/2. Then, yung negative 16 multiply by 2 resulting to negative 32. Okay, kaya nakuha natin yung mga terms na to. And then, yung nasa baba naman, we will copy lang as is. Then, simplify natin yung 2x squared minus 2x, that is 6x cubed. Then, simplify further, combine like terms. So, pwede natin pagsamahin ito at saka ito. Okay? So, same lang din yung denominator. Kaya naging 2 raised to x minus 1. 2 times x minus 1 raised to 1 half. So, yung numerator natin is x cubed minus 16. Kaya naging ganito siya. Okay? So, si 2x cubed pwede natin i-combine with 6x cubed. Kasi para silang x cubed. And 2 plus 6 is 8. Kaya naging 8x cubed. So, copy yung constant which is negative 32. Wala tayong other constant. At then, i-copy natin. Kasi we cannot combine this with other terms. So, we have plus 32, plus 3x squared times x minus 1 raised to 1 half. And this is the final derivative of your function. Okay, yung last rule natin ay tinatawag natin quotient rule. So, ito yung pinakamatindi sa lahat. Okay? So, sa quotient rule naman, para makuha yung derivative ng two functions natin, kanina sa product, nag-add tayo ngayon, we will subtract, but meron tayong denominator, which is the square of your second function. Or, simply, para mas maintindihan natin, let's say, for example, your two functions are u and v. The derivative of your quotient is equal to v multiplied by the derivative of your u numerator minus your numerator times the derivative of your denominator over the square of your denominator. That is the quotient rule. For example, let's say for example, we have f of x is equal to x plus 3 over x minus 1. So para magamit to, alamin muna natin kung saan si u at saan si v, saan si du at saan si dv. Sige, yung numerator natin, that is your u. Our denominator, that is your v. Now, para hindi tayo maguluhan, alamin muna natin kung ano yung du natin. So, what is our du? That is simply equal to 1, right? 1 yung du natin, kasi nga, applying the power rule. So, ito, exponent niya is 1. So, drop natin yung 1, then minus 1 tayo. So, it will result to 1x raised to 0, or simply 1. Okay? So, ito na yung v natin. V multiplied by your du, derivative of your u, minus your numerator, ito, times the derivative of your denominator. So, 1 din po yung dv nito or derivative nito, 1 din yung derivative nito. Kaya meron tayong 1 and 1 over the square of your v, which is your denominator. Kaya naging ganito siya. Then, we will simplify further. So, isa-isahin natin. So, x minus 1 times 1 is x minus 1 and din. Yung x plus 3 times 1 is also the same as x plus 3. Yung denominator natin, the square of x minus 1 is equal to x squared minus 2x plus 1. Then combine like terms, x minus x, that is 0, and negative 1 plus 3, that is 2. Kaya naging 2 na lang yung numerator natin, and this is the final derivative of your function, applying your quotient rule. Okay? Medyo madali lang din kung matatandaan natin yung format kung paano kunin yung derivative ng quotient. Another example. Medyo matindi. Medyo lang. So let's say for example, f of x is equal to 2x cubed minus the square root of x all over 5 minus 3x squared. Alamin muna natin yung v, alamin natin yung u, alin dyan yung du, and which is dv. So yung numerator natin, that is your u. Yung nasa baba natin is your v. Then let's get the derivative of this, applying your power rule. Okay, so du natin is equal to, so drop natin yung 3, kaya magiging 3 times 2, that is 6. Then bawasan natin ng isa, kaya naging 2 na lang siya. So 2x cubed, derivative is 6x squared. Ito naman, this is also the same as x raised to 1 half, diba? So square root of x is also the same as x raised to 1 half. So drop natin yung 1 half, kaya naging 1 half times x raised to 1 half minus 1. Or to simplify, that results to 6x squared minus 1 over 2 times the square root of x. Okay? Kasi nga yung 1 half minus 1 is equal to negative 1 half. To make it positive, ibababa natin. Kaya naging 1 half, 1 over 2 times square root of x. So, ito na yung derivative ng u natin. Okay? Tapos, substitute na natin later. So, alamin naman natin yung derivative ng v natin or your denominator. So, constant rule, this is 0. Then, power rule, ibababa si 2 times negative 3 results to negative 6. Tapos minus 1 tayo dito, that is 1. And x raised to 1 is also equal to x. So ito na yung derivative ng denominator natin. So pwede natin ipasok sa formula natin. That is v. Okay, saan yung v natin? Ito, si 5 minus 3x squared multiplied by du. Ayan siya. Minus by your u. Then multiplied by your dv. Over the square of your denominator, which is your v. Okay, then apply natin yung distributive property of equality. Sige, isa-isayin natin. So, 5 times x, 6x squared is 30x squared, right? Okay, tapos na tayo doon. Next, si 5 naman ibibigay natin kay negative 1 half square root of x. That results to negative 5 over 2 times square root of x. Next, si negative 3x squared, ibibigay natin kay 6x squared, resulting to negative 18x to the 4th power. Sa negative 3x squared naman, ibibigay natin kay negative 1 half square root of x, resulting to positive 3x squared over 2 square root of x. So, ito na yung magiging sagot ng product. That is the product of your v times the du. So, pinalitan natin. Next, dito naman tayo sa pangalawa. So, 2x cubed, ibibigay natin kay negative 6x. That results to negative 12x to the 4th. Tapos, sa negative square root of x, ibibigay natin kay negative 6x. 6x resulting to positive 6x square root of x. Okay, so papalitan natin siya doon. Lagyan natin ng parentheses because the operation is subtraction. Punta tayo sa baba. The square of 5 minus 3x squared. That is simply, so 5 times 5. That is 25. Then 5 times negative 3x squared, resulting to negative 15x squared. Tapos, ayun, dumoble. Yung negative 3x squared, ibibigay kay 5, resulting to negative 15x squared. Then yung negative 3x squared times negative 3x squared is positive 9x to the 4th power. Then we will simplify further. Ito, pwede natin pagsamahin yung negative 15 at saka yung negative 15, that is negative 30. Okay? Kaya naging rearrange na natin. So, 9x to the 4th minus 30. Ito na siya. Plus 25. Then, tingnan natin yung nasa taas. Pwede nating pagsasamahin. Or, ito. Pwede nating i-distribute yung negative to each term. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, mababago yung sign ng ito. So, yung negative 12 becomes positive. At yung positive 6x becomes negative. Okay? So, iisang operation na tayo. And then, maghanap tayo ng pwedeng pagsamahin dito. So, ito, si negative 18x to the 4th power, pwedeng isama kay 12, 6 to the 4th power. And negative 18 plus 12 is negative 6. So, ito, pwede din pagsamahin sila. Since denominator is the same, that is 2 times square root of x, resulting to 3x squared minus 5. Okay? Therefore, the final answer is, ito, this is the derivative of your function, negative 6x to the 4th power, plus 30x squared, plus 3x squared minus 5 over 2 square root of x minus 6x square root of x over 9x to the 4th power minus 30x squared plus 25. And that is the final answer. Pwede pa natin pagsamahin if you want. Okay, pwede nating pagsamahin. Ito, yung x squared, itataas natin yung square root of x. Pwede din, that resulting to, ito. Ito na yung pinaka-final answer. Or, simplify further if you want. For the final word, the only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. Amazing.